It's officially 3:33 p.m. and we are off the clock. Welcome back to Girls That Get It podcast, where we navigate entrepreneurship through the quadrant fit theory. I am Shakila, a.k.a. Kai.
I'm DJ Junius.
And I'm Ashby Hunt.
And we are GTGI. If you didn't get that
G-
first time.
Girls,
That
we are
Yes.
girls, and we do get it, okay?
Period.
And always.
And we are on episode 23, and we are excited. We are 10 episodes from 33, our favorite number.
Kai's favorite number.
Kai's
Yes,
favorite
not
number.
our favorite number.
Yes, we're almost there. Anyways, what you guys been doing? What's up?
What's up?
new?
What's new?
What's tea?
Tea,
What you been watching?
Tea is hot. Tea is lukewarm.
What you been watching?
So I watched a crazy, great movie, quick movie on Hulu called The Apology.
Okay, watching that tonight.
Watch it. It is amazing.
The Apology.
Text me when you get
Okay.
halfway through.
I
I've
sure
been
will.
watching
Yes.
something on Hulu too. It's called, I don't remember, but it's something about the watchful eye.
Okay.
It's on
And-
Netflix. It's a series.
No, it's on Hulu.
Oh.
And I watched on Netflix. I watched on Hulu Single Drunk Female. Great.
On
Good.
Hulu.
2 seasons.
Both on Hulu.
Yes.
Okay. I have to
Yeah.
The Apology and Crazy Drunk.
Single
Female?
drunk female.
Single drunk female. Okay, like single white
Okay.
female.
Yes, she was a big time exec. She had a drinking problem and
Oh,
ended
wow.
up back at her mom's house.
And that's 2
Damn.
seasons.
Yes, it's
Okay.
2 seasons of her going through sobriety
Going
and
through
all
that.
that.
Yeah. And I also watched The Perfect Find on Netflix with Gabrielle Union. It was amazing.
The way
Couldn't
she
be
lied.
fakers. Right.
It was so awesome. I highly recommend it. 10
10
out of 10.
10 recommend.
Bye.
10 out of 10
Made
recommend.
her good.
I like seeing him, though. I've never seen him act. Keith
Yeah.
Powers.
No, I think he did really good.
Yeah, he did great.
He did amazing. Yes.
He's not like my typical aesthetic, but I could see it. Like
Yeah, yeah. He was charming.
He was very charming.
Yeah, it was charming. Yeah, so it was nice.
Yeah.
Girl.
I watched
still
Black Mirror
mad.
about
About
what?
what?
Dwayne Wade ex-wife.
Oh my
God. You holding on to a grudge. Right. We never forget.
God. Yeah. Just me as a beauty professional who does hair. That took me back a little bit. Was like the hair wasn't that great in that. For Gabrielle Union as the lead, I
Absolutely.
feel like the hair wasn't that great in that. No shade. It was just my opinion.
Yeah.
But I felt like with the mother and her assistants, they killed it.
Everybody kills it.
So I'm trying to figure out where they're trying to make her look homely, like, oh, I'm on the comeback, I'm on the come up. Because when she came to get the job and she walked down the stairs and the bob was, I feel like it was supposed to be a moment.
It wasn't Bobby.
It wasn't
The bob
bobbing. It
wasn't
was
bobbing.
supposed to be a
It
moment.
wasn't Bobbiana. What was it?
No, it was.
It was
Bobby.
like her main girl was on vacation.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what it was giving.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
But everybody else was like slayed.
Yeah. She
Which
got
is so-
resources too, so seemed like she could have brought her own people in if she needed to.
Yeah, it was odd. But anyway, so yeah.
That half that she putting up for that house.
50%. 50%.
Sorry.
He had to go on the podcast and clarify.
Didn't he?
He clarified.
I didn't hear it, but I kind of
With
seen.
was it Shannon Sharp?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Shannon Sharp's
Yeah,
podcast.
'cause
What did he
went.
say?
He said, well, you guys have to understand that she has a whole slew of family that she takes care of, and I have a whole slew of family that I take care of. So in that regard, it's 50-50 on that regard. He was like, but in our household, he said they had a situation where basically they got in an argument. He said, this is my house and da-da-da. And so from that
Never
point
again.
on, she was like, you'll never be able to say any of that or whatever. So I'm going to put whatever I put on it. And that's that.
Yeah.
He said, but he also got to a point where he was like spending everything and doing everything. So he like, hold on now, you ain't gonna leave me in 20 years. And I ain't
Right.
gonna have no money.
And
You
I'm
got all
done.
you sacking all your coins. Yeah.
Listen, high and dry, brother. You better,
Right.
you better be putting up your rainy day.
Right. Yeah.
But to each his own.
Yeah.
To each his own.
To each his
Whatever
own.
makes it work.
That's what I'm saying. I ain't married folks, so I don't
It's
know.
just all these.
It's just-
things
yeah.
that go on in your home.
Right.
Don't have to be.
But when they put it out
Fodder
there,
for
now
us.
he got to go somewhere
Exactly.
else
Yeah.
and defend.
I mean, but that's
his
how it goes.
masculinity.
One little comment
Yeah.
spearheads a whole conversation.
Absolutely.
And now we all talking about it and went
We on
viral.
GTGI having a conversation
We
about
on
it.
GTGI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
What else is new? Oh, you've been listening to Young Thug's album?
no. I was listening
No.
to Gunna though. I did listen to
You listen to a couple songs?
I did. I like the one with Future. I can't remember the names right now because I'm just not. It's not in my rotation.
Yeah, I like the one with Drake.
I like the one with Drake. I like the one with Future, and then he got one with Uzi. That was really good too.
Mm-hmm.
He got one with Savage. That's amazing too.
I love Savage.
Yes,
Yeah, so you've been listening.
Such a
I
fan.
have.
Yeah,
I listen to everything.
yeah.
The ratcheter,
But
the
you've been
better.
did he so y'all bring me up to speed. You know I don't listen to rap. So is he addressing? Are they on the same page or are they not on the same page?
They're dissing each other,
They're-
from my
Okay.
understanding.
Subliminally, professionally, if that makes any
Okay.
sense, is not very forward. It's not very outward.
Yeah.
But yeah,
The few songs I heard though on Gunna's album, because I had just heard all the hype about it, they were vibing.
no, everybody says it's a vibe, and I have been told it's very unfortunate that he's going through this because his album is amazing. Obviously,
Yeah, and this would have been the one.
this would have been his
Yeah.
one.
But all his music that he's put out in the past have been amazing.
Yeah,
So.
for sure. So it's on trend.
Yeah.
And this morning I wanted to post a workout video, and I was told that I shouldn't use Gunna's music because although it might be cool to listen to, and then I was just wondering, am I gang affiliated?
Right.
Why can't post?
civilian.
Yeah. I am a whole
So
civilian.
his song is up on Apple, and I'm not worried about what he did or whatever. I don't
Or
even
what
know
nobody
what
thinks.
the man said in the courtroom to the people. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I was told that might not be a good look.
Yeah.
For me.
So
It don't
Gunna is a writer though, right? Like he wrote for a lot of people.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he's a writer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's like a ghostwriter. He used to write for a lot of people before he actually came out
Yeah.
himself. So
Nice.
And he's killing it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all of this is a mess, and it's unfortunate. But
It is a hot mess. Yeah.
anyway,
anyway,
it's
Anyways,
business. What do you say?
so
Business is business.
back to business.
Oh, it said back to
No, it's
business.
business is business.
Business is business. He that was the other song. Back at it is the Gunna
Okay.
song.
All right, so episode 23 today is about continuing education. You have heard us say it a million times. It is the art of every professional business. You should
Yeah.
always have additional education. Always want to keep your stuff fresh and new and be learning new things.
If
right?
you went to a doctor, would you want to go to the doctor that was practicing the
same-
techniques from
same
50
medicine
years
from-
ago?
yeah.
Yeah, no.
No, you
So
want
we're
the
gonna
one
tap
with the
into
freshest.
that. Yeah. You guys
Continued
ready?
education. Just do it.
It's a Nike plug.
I gave it to
Somebody
you.
help me. All right, you guys ready to start?
This is gonna be a tough one.
I wanted y'all to choose.
A tough one to edit. It's gonna be a hard one for you to edit. Yeah.
We just gonna push it out.
You guys ready to start?
Yes.
All right, it's officially 3:33 p.m. and we are off the clock.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Feels like communion.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
And by the time we drink, it'll warmed up.
Mm-hmm.
Good though.
definitely communion juice.
Yeah.
Where's my little white?
All right.
I ain't taking.
So, hola, ¿cómo estás?
You go in like
The
you
girls are
finna
tired.
have- Yes,
At this point,
the girls are really clocked out
Right.
at 3:33.
All right. All right. So, today's topic is continuing education. And so, what we want to talk about is just you as a professional keeping your interests fresh, keeping your skills fresh, and keeping your mindset fresh. Those are all things that fall underneath continuing education, right?
Absolutely,
Because you don't know what's out there until you
learn it.
learn it, right? So even if, say, for instance, you have been doing a service for the last 15 years, 10 years, 5 years, they come out with new stuff all the time.
Yes,
Right.
things change.
Things
Yeah,
change.
constantly.
Absolutely. So as well as if it's not your service, just, business classes,
Yeah,
right?
So business, everything. All the
Everything.
things that it
Single thing.
takes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even events and conventions, that is considered continued education
Absolutely.
as well.
For sure.
Right.
Because those are the places that you get the new products, that
Yes.
you will practice the new technique.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
All of that runs.
Yeah. Or how to run your books, or, again, we talked about profit and loss the last episode a little bit, and, that's part of it as well. Learning a little bit of tricks and trade of, knowing your dollar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Knowing your dollar as an entrepreneur.
Yep.
Right.
And personal development too. You know,
Personal development. Yes.
constantly.
We don't talk about that enough.
I think that is more of the clutch takeaways from continued education. It's the knowledge that you gain from the actual work, but it's always like that personal development,
Right?
That thing that make your shoulders sit back, that pride. You know what I mean? That is more of the takeaways too.
Yeah, because it pushes the creativity more.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, it pushes the thought process more, right? So speaking of creativity and thought mindset, growth mindset, right?
Yes.
So having the ability to know that you have to be continuously growing.
Yes.
Right? And that's what that continuing education is going to do for you, push
Yeah.
you to grow. Let's talk a little bit about adopting a growth mindset as an entrepreneur. So I think it's super important for us to discuss the importance of adopting a growth mindset, right?
Yes.
Because sometimes we get so comfortable in where we are, especially if we're already successful.
Yes.
And we're making the money that we think that we should make.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes people get stagnant a little bit.
Yeah,
But
and
it's really go ahead.
Well, it's that thing. If it's not broken, don't fix it. This is working. I'm profitable. But you could be blocking your real blessing or blocking that real opportunity by not advancing that, education or shifting that mindset to the growth mindset.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I guess as entrepreneurs in general, we're always growing. So you got to have that mindset.
Yeah.
For sure. It's like starting there first.
Yes.
Starting there first.
Yeah.
Yes. Starting with the mind.
Starting with your mind.
Yeah.
Then comes your body.
Again, we talked about personal and professional growth, right? Do you think that they're always aligned? Do you think that when you grow in your business that you automatically grow personally, or the other way around?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but it's quite, it's consistent.
Yeah, they don't have to be mutually exclusive, but I will say when I am like tapping into all my quadrants, everything improves. I used to kind of resent, I think we talked about this, but I used to resent that saying of like, how you do one thing is how you do all things. Because I'm like, no, I'm damn good at this thing. I might be lacking in these other areas, but I'm damn good at this. But it's like, if I was doing all those other things, I could be even better at this. So that statement rings true.
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't think it's always simultaneous or it's not always aligned, but when it's done right, it is. Or when you're really gaining the knowledge and applying the lessons, all of it is growing all at once, and you're tapping into all of those quadrants and you're elevating. I don't feel like I elevated personally until I elevated professionally.
Yeah.
I had something to stand on. I had like personal quarrel. That word. Qualms. Personal qualms.
Quarrels is what you
Yeah,
got the
quarrels. Get confused.
Qualms.
Well, personal problems never really seemed that big of a deal anymore because, I had something to stand on, or I had something like my business. I couldn't literally like be out there standing on all of my personal values because at the end of the day, that is a representation of my business because I am the forward face.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like I grew personally until I grew professionally.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
But I will say there was one time in my life where, again, I was experiencing a lot of like death and falling into depression, but my career was thriving.
Right.
It was
you
thriving.
Was on robot mode.
I think so. Yeah, absolutely.
That was
so
an escape a little bit.
Yeah, so sometimes it may just kind of be a cause and effect.
Yeah.
And
it's like focusing on the things that you can control. You could control the personal things that were happening, but
Right.
you could control the professional part. So
Absolutely.
it's like double down there.
Yeah. Until one day you wake up and you got to be like, I got to fix
this other part.
this other part.
Yeah.
We're not going to keep running from what's really going on.
I think that was me at the top of this year. Like, that was the thing. I had to tap into the personal part because although, I don't want to say it was thriving, but it was in motion and I was going through the motions and getting things done. But when you're really uncomfortable with how you sleeping because you're not active and all that, are you really successful?
Yeah, are you really successful?
Are you really and I think it takes you being, I guess, financially successful or like successful within your business to recognize that you're not successful.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
For sure.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, that is cool, but am I really thriving when I'm like miserable in my bed at night or waking up in a puddle of sweat? You know what I mean? Because I'm not doing
the
what
things
I need to do. Yeah. So I think once you hit certain marks in what is supposed success, you start to recognize what that really looks like for you. But you only get there if you continue your education.
Absolutely.
And level up. Like,
it is kind of hard to focus on anything when the money ain't right.
Sure.
So it's
part.
like once you get the money right, then you can start seeing all these other areas that need nurturing.
Yes.
Yeah. So aside from, doing the continuing education to stay up to date, it can also put you ahead of the curve.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. So a lot of people, when we talk about this, they don't talk about being ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Right. Because even though you're taking these classes to keep fresh in your field, you never know. You might learn something that maybe your counterparts or your competitors are not doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah. And it gives you a leg up on, creating the industry, creating that situation that it's not done.
What is that term that I hear all the time? Being being an authority.
So
Yes.
On the topic,
Yes.
especially in your area, if it is not a popular thing or a popular
Yeah.
service or the thing, just being the authority gives you so much more of an advantage
Yes.
and a leg up.
Yeah.
But you don't know that if you're not tapping out and reaching out and listening and seeing what's
Right.
new. And
What
taking
do
some
you guys
classes.
think some like continuous education that people can do to keep an edge on like their competitors or their field?
You obviously have to like keep up with whatever is going on in your specific industry.
Yes.
Like as far as like what it is that you actually do.
Yeah.
But those other areas, like just because, we're artists, so our minds might not always work. We're creatives. They might not always work in the area of like finances and like dealing with your financials. So it's like you can take a class on that.
Yes. One
Just
of our
so that even if you outsource that to someone else, you also want to be
still
able to have the
know.
language.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a good one too. Like, I always tell people like you should travel for your continuous education.
I love that.
You should remove yourself from your city, your town,
And your comfort zone.
and your comfort zone and go
Yes.
somewhere else. And that's what I did when I decided to do a higher level of extensions. I went to California and trained there. It's just because it's going to give you a different mindset, a different vibe, see what other people are doing. And so you bring that education back and you apply it to your community.
market. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Your market and your community.
And
Absolutely.
invest too.
Yeah.
Whoever that person is that you admire, it's like invest to get in their face. Like
Yes.
invest to
Yeah.
get that mentorship.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That mentorship.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
That's one of the
Yes.
the key things
Don't-
that we did
yeah.
to stand out in this market.
Don't expect people to do stuff for free.
And stop
Absolutely.
wanting stuff so damn cheap. It's like you gotta be willing to invest in it.
Stop doing that when you go anywhere else and give them all your coin
part.
full price
Right.
without asking.
Right.
Like at some point, it comes down to what you value. We value our cell phones. Every time
Don't even
they
think
drop,
twice about it.
you don't think twice. You just
Yeah.
upgrade.
You're like, oh, you got a new camera, you got
It
this.
is
You like,
the
yeah.
same amount as a course.
Yes.
So it's just like you don't want to invest in the thing that can make you buy the cell phone multiple times. But you just go ahead and give them the money, no questions asked.
Right.
Just because they got a new camera.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you
Not
just,
smart. You gotta be
Yeah.
smart. Yeah. And it also fuels innovation,
Yes.
right? It fuels creativity. It fuels
Definitely.
like, a more of a roundabout thinking,
Yes.
right?
It gives you that refresh. It gives you that restart. I never felt more enthusiastic about my work than right after that course. And when I got back and I just wanted to like try all of these, even though I knew it wasn't, for every person or every client, I just never felt more enthusiastic about what I was doing.
Right.
Because it gets monotonous. Yes, every client is different and each client has a specific need and a different art, but it does get monotonous.
Yes.
So learning something new, it clicks you in, and then also creating value for that client or solving a problem that they might have and the other technique didn't cover.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? So it gives you a spark.
New
of
technique, though.
enthusiasm.
You said the word, and just new technique is everything because it develops your skill set.
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't care if you've been doing it for decades. Like skill set is a thing.
Yes.
Yes. And it's like as new things come to the market, like with you, like with what's it, iTips.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like as those new things come to market, how else are you going to learn them?
Right,
You know,
exactly.
How else are you going to be able to provide that to your
stay off of
clientele?
YouTube University. Stay off of YouTube.
For those things, stay off of YouTube
Yes,
University.
YouTube is very,
insightful,
for
It's great for like
things.
personal
when
development.
it doesn't
Yes.
involve
Yeah.
anybody else.
Yes, absolutely.
That part.
Perfect.
Because you cannot be practicing nobody's head for a cost. That's not okay.
Yes.
I hate it.
I hate it so much. I hate it became a trend.
Yes. Our last episode was about, collaboration, right?
Yes.
So that's also part of continuing education is like networking and collaborative learning, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me talk about the collaborative learning too.
Yes.
So I had a mentee that took a class and she was like, she paid for this course. It was like a digital online course or whatever. And she was like willing to like share with other people. I don't have an issue with that to a certain extent.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is because yes, it's nice to be helpful for others. But I feel like, people should seek their own education.
Of course they should.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
One of our mentors in our first class, when she handed out her manual, straight up was like, lawsuit if this touches anybody's hands that didn't sign up for our class. And you just don't get it right there in that moment. But this is her hard work. It's her sweat.
It's just respect.
It's respect.
Yes.
It's that integrity thing. It's
Yes.
like you want people to respect. One day you might be in that position where
Yes.
you're offering this course.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You got to put good in to get good out.
Pick good in.
Yeah.
You don't win when you play dirty. Huh?
You sure don't.
Nene.
You sure don't.
Period. Okay.
Yeah, it's like
it's
you
the
can't
truth.
be. It's some things that you can share. It's some things
Yeah.
that you can give away. But the total experience of it all, you need to invest in because you're not going to get from it what I got by my notes and my
Yes.
takeaway.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? I can
Yeah.
help.
And
Yeah.
you just don't value it. It's
You
like people don't value what they don't invest in or what they
That part.
Can you say it
That part.
people don't value what they don't pay for. There's got to be something in it for them.
Put that on the t-shirt.
Yeah.
Please, can I
You gotta
put it
have
on
some
the
skin in the
t-shirt?
game.
Okay.
For sure.
That part.
Legit.
So the other part of that is networking, right? There is education in networking.
Yes.
You may meet somebody at a workshop or a conference or something like that, and then they provide some information to you that you weren't probably doing in your business. So that's a form of extended education. I won't say continuous education, but extended education,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
That too, and they might have some real insight on a course that you may be interested
Yes.
in.
Yeah.
Now, everybody's experience and everybody's takeaway is different. So it does need you to reaffirm and do the research behind it.
Yes.
But if something was completely off and completely out of whack,
Yes.
and before you sign up and give that non-refundable deposit, some of that networking
Yes.
can help you
Yes.
make a clearer decision.
Yes.
Especially if you're networking with like reliable sources.
Yes.
Right.
People that are doing the research and, people that you trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Continuing education is really developing your personal growth as well.
Yes.
And so personal growth breeds a better entrepreneur.
And personal growth attracts other better entrepreneurs. Like
Opportunities.
it attracts
opportunities. Yeah. There's nothing like putting yourself in a different space. Yeah.
And
or
also
level. Yes. And tax bracket.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. All those things come with it. You know?
Yeah, just sometimes being at their table, hearing the conversations that these people are having.
Yes.
'Cause you really don't know what you don't know. So it's not like I have a question about something and I can't find the answer. If I know the question, I can go find the answer.
Right.
And sometimes you don't even know what you should be
You don't
asking.
even
It's like,
Exactly,
know
that
was
what is
part.
that thing y'all are
question.
talking about?
Right.
You know, it's like
Yes.
I don't even know to
Even
you
ask
know,
this.
to even ask about that.
Yeah.
So
and be responsible to yourself to say, okay, I know that I'm lacking in this particular area. Let me not just go to this beauty show for a physical skill set education, technique education. But let me go sit down in somebody's class and learn some business tools.
Do you think that happens as often as it should?
No, not at all.
Basically, like that, be real with yourself. Like
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen
because
as
it's
often.
like what you said, if it's not broke, they don't feel the need to fix it.
Yeah,
damn
but you
book,
just really have to be honest with yourself,
Yeah.
right?
It might not be broke, but it's stagnant.
Yes,
stagnant.
but that's also a
And
part.
it's wrong.
Yes, and it's also a part of emotional intelligence, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't have that though. So We're working on
Is it just because they ain't been called out on it enough, or it hasn't been?
It's a wholesome of a lot of different things. One, they probably haven't been called out about it. Also, too, sometimes people are always set on that pedestal, that high level, so they don't have anybody to hold them accountable and say, hey, friend, this is not cool, whatever. It's a lot of yes men around, especially if you're like probably the most like successful financially
Within
in your
your
group.
crew.
Yeah, and so everybody's looking to you like, oh, they got this, they got that. But money does not mean success,
Yes.
Right.
in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Yeah, it's not all around success. So,
That makes sense.
yeah. So unfortunately, yeah. Everybody doesn't have those leadership skills, right?
Yeah.
So everybody's not meant to lead.
Sure.
It's it is what it is. But leadership skills, if you are an entrepreneur,
I was about to say, do you think they know that?
I was gonna say, I think there is like, of course, everybody can't be the leader at the same time.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I think if you're constantly evolving, there is a time and space
where you'll have to be a
level up
leader.
and lead,
Yeah.
and allow the next person to come in and they can do the work. You know what I mean? It's just
Yes.
a cycle.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can all lead at the same time.
Yes.
For sure.
I mean, look, let me take my statement back, because if you're an entrepreneur, you are a leader.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, once they've executed education or are understanding and consistent with knowing that you have to do continuous education, what is the balance between learning and execution? Because the one thing I hate is that when people are constantly in classes, constantly taking this workshop.
It's like that professional student.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like where's the execution in it all?
Information hoarder.
Yes.
Which I identify with.
So what's the balance in it though?
The balance should be, you should be
Stepping
executing
back.
as soon as you,
Yeah.
like as soon as you learn something, you should be going right into practice to like execute on
Yeah.
that.
Because if you don't,
Even if it's just
use
like that first step.
you
Yeah.
lose it.
Yeah. for
And making sure you have fully
Grass.
grasped before you go to the next thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
Can't
before-
take any shortcuts.
Absolutely.
Can't
Yeah.
skip the steps.
You can't
Yeah.
skip the steps. And once you apply the steps, if it doesn't work out, then abort mission and
Yeah.
maybe try
You might
something
have to
new.
pivot. Yeah.
I also think that a part of that, the balancing act, would be to say, okay, I'm only going to take 1 or 2 classes for the year in regards to education or whatever, instead of saying every time something pops up,
You're jumping on it.
you're jumping on it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're just collecting certificates at this point.
Yeah,
Information,
absolutely. Yeah,
And
it's like grabbing a million self-help books and not doing the work.
Not
Yeah.
applying.
Yeah.
But didn't you say if you just get one?
Just get one of any
Yeah,
of them.
yeah.
Pick one.
That's how I felt about our mentors last training. I didn't feel like I needed anything else after we took that volume course, but her volume 2 course to let me know if we were executing
properly. Yeah.
It just didn't. I mean, aside from going to Russia, and I felt like she went there, so I got it
You got it.
firsthand kind of energy.
Yeah.
But you need to take the course. If you pick the right one and you've invested well, you should be able to use that. And then from there, after executing that,
So I feel like once you've taken the time to do the continuous education and you've learned how to balance it out from like your day to day, the next thing to do would be to prioritize and implement newfound knowledge effectively. So not just implementing it as like, oh, this person taught me this, that, and the fourth. You have to make sure that it works for your business, because one thing, when I did go to California, as I mentioned, price point was not the same in California as it was in Georgia.
Okay.
Right.
So even though we talked about increases and stuff like that, it wasn't like, okay, you're going to increase to what I charge.
Right.
Look at your market, make sure that the education that you've learned works for your business.
Absolutely.
And if it doesn't, just tweak it a bit to assure that it
it's
works.
all about
Yeah.
the tweak.
Yeah.
And sometimes investing in continued education
Yeah.
is not all about like what you can take and apply. It sometimes teaches you what you can't do.
That part.
Yeah, like you learn tools and techniques, but you have something to measure them against. And some things are applicable to your business, other things aren't. And just because you have to like not throw some things, but you're not able to use each tool
Yeah.
that you learn or each technique that you learn, it does not make it a waste. Like
Yes,
you just
for
knowing the difference is all, it makes all the better.
Yeah, but what about the opposite of that too? Because sometimes you're not going to learn new things; you're going to unlearn some things.
That is a huge thing.
Oh yes,
That is a
yes.
those bad habits.
Yeah,
for sure.
yes.
Because
And people struggle with that. They struggle with that. Yes, absolutely.
It's a bad breakup right there.
Especially if it's
Absolutely.
like the blonde leading the blind. You know
The
what I mean?
blind.
Yes.
Whoever taught you, because you only know as much as
your
previous
instructor.
trainer. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Yep.
So
And then that ego of that person not being all that she was supposed to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
sometimes
And
that
being
is
flexible, being okay with that. Like,
Yeah.
hey, that's changed. We're
Yes.
not doing that anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
Communicating that with your clients too.
Yes.
Like, we're no longer doing that. We're doing it this way now
Yes.
because X, Y, Z.
yes, yeah. And I think it's important to have those conversations with yourself to say, you know, I just wasn't doing it the proper way. I need to change it. Be responsible for because your business is going to.
You got to
It's
be
based on
responsible
you.
for the business.
Yeah.
It's a reflection of you.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. So what are some ongoing issues you guys think that people have with education?
I just think the needing to be educated piece altogether. We have in our industry, we have a lot of bosses and a lot of people who are really, really talented and have been working for themselves since like high school. So sometimes those things that might make the experience overall better, they are not tapped into because they don't have any checkpoints or anybody. You know, any checks and balances has just been them along the way, and their books have always been full, and they're always booked and busy, and they're always getting money. So they don't know that they could be maximizing that particular service, whatever it's a 5-hour service or a 3-hour service. They're doing really well in that space, but they could be maximizing it to an even greater level, and they don't even know because they're not interested and they're not flexible.
Yeah.
And you don't know what you don't know, so it's just like, step back away from that ego sometimes and just tap in. And everybody admires somebody. You are really, really good, but you see somebody and you see something that you would like
For sure.
to be.
And that's the benefit of like following and kind of keeping up with your peers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing what they're doing and how
Yeah.
they're
How that's
evolving.
trending.
Yeah.
I'll say one thing that we struggle with I'll say COVID created a lot of teachers.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so everybody has a class now. Everybody has a master class. Everybody has you can learn this and become a master of this for $300 or $700 or $600, whatever.
And even
Everybody
that,
became
if
a
you
teacher.
are a teacher and you work all day long too, it ain't no way you could tell me the value for the things in your brain. You'll lowball yourself like that. If you truly were confident in what you were selling, unless it was like a online or something digital that went out to the masses.
Yeah.
But if it's
And that's the
exclusive-
difference.
Passive
I
income.
think.
Passive
Yeah.
income. Yeah.
That's the difference. I
Yeah.
guess that makes all the difference, even
Yeah.
saying it out. But sometimes it's just like, if you don't even know, you don't know what you can the way you could capitalize off of things.
Yeah.
Just because you don't know.
Right.
you
But
know?
I want to speak to those teachers too. Well, not even to the teachers. I'll just say this: do your due diligence on, doing the research behind the people
on your
when you're taking their
educators.
class.
Yeah,
Yeah, and there's
and people that you
educators to make
trust.
sure. Yeah, absolutely. Because somebody could show you how to do anything, but are they showing you the proper way?
Are they showing you the proper way?
Yes.
Or are they showing you just the way they do it?
Yeah.
Yes.
And is
Yes.
there anything original in what they're offering?
Yeah.
Or is it just regurgitated material that you actually can find, other places? So,
Yeah. I will say, but we've had a conversation before. You just hit me up and was like, I think you're charging too low for your class.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she was like, I would do a little bit more. Me knowing what you do and what your work is like, you should charge a little bit more. And I'm like, okay, I'll think about it.
Especially if you just do
and
it
I
one
did.
person at a time.
Yes,
Exactly.
1-on-1 2-day class.
And
Yeah,
it goes in my brain too, because I know that you didn't like lowball their kit.
right,
Right.
Right.
And you made a great investment when
Yes.
you learned.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you're using and you're teaching them with what you use, which
Right.
is not cheap stuff. And
Right.
that's what I can say about me. It's like, I'm not just going to Amazon and ordering you
Oh,
some
you
glue
pack.
for the
Oh,
class.
yeah, we saw that several
Yeah.
You get what I'm
times.
saying?
Yeah,
Or even you're
Yeah.
not ordering some hair off of whatever,
Yeah, no.
whatever. So
Right.
you can teach them, you're ordering. So how can you, compensate for the tools and the education.
Yeah.
You have to like make that, and then 8 hours with you.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
It's like all that matters. And if you coming in low end, I'm just gonna assume that something's gonna go.
Something's
amiss.
or it ain't right.
I also think that you need to know how you learn best.
Okay.
So, I am kind of like a hands-on learner. And so it is kind of difficult for me to do online courses.
Yes.
So it doesn't really benefit me.
It doesn't benefit me either.
And it makes sense to me, like, okay, I should just do this online. I don't have to travel, but I'm really not an online learner.
I'm not an online
Yeah.
So you'll mess
So
around.
learn
and buy a
how you
bunch of-
learn.
Yes. And invest how you learn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't just buy something because so and so is dropping and you want to just have it in your collection. No.
Right.
Because you'll end up wasting the money, and when you would have just saved that, added to it, and did what you needed to do,
Then it would have been.
it'd have been way more fruitful for you.
Absolutely. What are some takeaways that they can use and apply in regards to continuous education and entrepreneurship?
Some of the things would be utilizing your resources that you have on hand. I know you don't want to like advance your skill set necessarily on YouTube University, but those other areas, if you need to learn about, like we said earlier, property and
Managing
law,
a
so
book.
you need to understand, you need to understand things like that.
Payroll.
Or even just like self-development. You want to work on your voice and how you present, your
Yes.
confidence. Listen to podcasts that offer that. Listen to GTGI when we're talking about things like that. So like utilize all your resources that are already available to you now. That's one of the things.
Okay. What do you think?
Utilize your sources, and once you have that, I feel like you'll have a easier window into what you want to actually invest in. You know what I mean? Like once you get the knowledge and you gain the knowledge and you do the research and you research your market, you can specifically like pick out a mentor or educator that speaks to the topics that you want. Not just going with like the trendy person or the person with a lot of followers.
Or even like the trendy thing.
Or the trendy thing. It might not be for you. It might not be something that you're comfortable putting out or something that you could stand behind. So just do the research, utilize your resources at hand, and then use those resources to identify what would specifically benefit you and speak to you.
Yes.
And then you can invest in that course or that class or that conference or whatever it needs to be.
Yeah.
But make
and
it
not taking
personal.
a break. Like once you learn it, you got to go right into applying and practicing.
Absolutely.
Period.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a waste.
Yeah,
Yes.
don't take a break. Go
Yeah.
right into
Don't
it.
take a break. Because
And you might have to use
if-
your personal time to do so.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with practicing.
I think you should use your personal time to do that because then it doesn't take away from the business.
It doesn't take away from the business, and the practice doesn't get lackluster because
you're focused.
Yeah.
Yeah. My takeaway would be to scale the education. So look at, evaluate your business and see what it is that you need. Okay, so it could be one skill set class a year and then one business class a year.
Okay.
So, and I would just say, okay, I'm going to do 2 again, and it's going to be every, like at a quarter or, at 6 months sometime or whatever. So I just think that you should evaluate and then scale the education that you're doing.
Yeah.
Yep.
That sounds lit.
And put it in the budget. So it's not.
Always put it in the budget.
Put it in the budget.
That's a
that you're
write-off.
Projecting for that for next year.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's definitely a write-off.
He's talking big.
But rather than just being kind of like fly by night, like, they're offering a class, let me go do this, let me do that. You know, you can't really
set your budget
Yeah, you
up.
play yourself like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Because then you got to manage the.
Because it's just impulsive at that point, and you're not really being
Exactly.
intentional.
Yeah, and
you're
you're
not
fucking up the
prepared.
budget.
And you
Fucking up
are.
the budget.
You fucking it up because you also got to consider travel if that's
Yeah.
the thing, and
Yes.
all of that. So
Yes.
you want to be prepared for that, and that comes with like managing your books
Yes.
and paying yourself properly, so you have this savings to pull from when there's something that you are excited about or something that you can benefit from and invest in.
Period.
One thing too, I've had people ask me, which I think is a great question, like, who trained you? Who do you recommend?
Yeah.
So also getting that, like talking to your peers, and getting that reinforcement.
Networking.
Yeah. Well, yeah, networking.
All of everything. I was just about to say, all of our conversations are a running theme, and we build off of each of the last conversations to get you here.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get nowhere without applying like the basics.
Yeah.
You're
Yes.
not just saying these themes and these topics just to be redundant.
Yes.
It literally takes XYZ to execute the next step. You got to hit all your marks.
Yes.
to be a truly successful, I think, entrepreneur, thriving in all four of the quadrants.
Period. And tell them what the quadrant is again. Quadrant theory is
being financially, spiritually,
mentally,
and physically fit.
Fit. Amen.
Fit is a constant.
Which is a journey.
Which is a journey.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, you guys. Well, I think that about sums it up.
Yes, just do it.
Just
do it.
Listen.
What classes are y'all taking this year?
None. I gotta apply some stuff. Seriously,
Definitely gotta apply some stuff.
I gotta apply some stuff.
I am not taking class, but we are doing a workshop together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're not taking individual courses or classes this year, but we are going to a workshop together. So, yes.
Sounds good to
It
me.
all aligns.
Mm-hmm.
So execute, ladies. I'm here for it.
Yes.
Okay, guys.
All right. Thank you
Love you
guys
all.
for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week for episode 24.
See you then.
All right. Hey, girl. Thanks for listening. But before you go, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you next time.